Today, I'm going to be giving you guys an update on my Robinhood portfolio since you guys really seem to enjoy my previous video. So I don't want to talk too much. I want to get right into this video and just pretty much go over everything that I'm holding, what I'm doing differently, and if I'm going to actually change my investing strategy. So $145,000, pretty much $146,000, I might as well say. I might put that in the title, so excuse me. But yeah, $146,000, right? If we go all time, right, I've returned 60% over the past 5 years. 2021 is literally when I started investing, and I literally got started with $4,000. In my first trade, I lost $2,000. So as you can see, it's $2,000 and pretty much $700 that I lost. And literally, this is after investing $4,000. And that was all into Dogecoin, as you guys know. What I learned from that was literally meme stocks or meme cryptos or whatever. But I wanted to get into more of a real investment, more long term, something that I can actually see improvements of, like companies and stuff like that. And yeah, ever since I lost that amount of money, I literally turned into a long term investor. So hopefully you guys actually get started with investing into ETFs other than crypto, right? I started off with the S&P 500, so yeah, we'll get into that in a second. So year to date, I'm up almost 20%, which is $24,000, as you can see, right, year to date, which is beating the S&P 500. I invest very aggressively, so if my returns are a little bit higher, that's because I invest aggressively compared to what some people would say. Yeah, let's go into crypto though. So if I go into my crypto holdings, right, I'm down 20%. And it's just because of the Dogecoin that I was holding, right? So 0%, and that brought me down to 16% just off Dogecoin. Like I said, now it's literally been a bumpy ride all the way to the top and then all the way to the bottom, and we're here now. But let's get into my position in Bitcoin. So my position in Bitcoin is literally 0.15%, $13,000 worth of Bitcoin, right? I do not have a Bitcoin, and that just tells you that you don't really need a lot of money to be investing. You can start small. You can start with whatever you got to invest, $10, $50, $100. It doesn't matter. Just get started investing. So my average cost is 8,000 or 85,000. Bitcoin is currently at 81,000. So clearly I'm down. It is 9% of my portfolio, and my total return on Bitcoin so far is I'm down $684 to be exact, 5%. And we're seeing it live right here. So I used to be investing around $63 into Bitcoin. When I first started off, I think it was around like $43. I just kept investing, right? Bitcoin went up. I was happy. It went down. I'm still happy because this is not the only thing I hold. So that's why it's very important to be diversified. Don't just invest into one thing. Invest into different things and just calculate your risk, right? Because since Bitcoin is only 9% of my portfolio, right? If I'm down 5%, I mean, I'll be okay. It's not the end of the world, because the potential of it going up is a lot greater than it actually going down. So that's just my opinion. I'm not a financial advisor, but yeah, I'll take the risk of actually Bitcoin going up over time than it actually crashing down to zero. So moving on to my stocks and ETF, which I hold majority of my equity in, right? And all time, I'm 77% over the past year, right? I don't have this big crash like I do in the crypto, just because once I started taking investing serious and I wanted to go long term. You could see 2021, I literally kept investing. I kept staying consistent, and yeah, I never stopped. So year to date, 23%. If we calculate that into dollar amounts, that's $25,000 that I've invested into ETFs. Yeah, $132,000, 133 should I say, right? And that's pretty much how much I've made at my job. If you see the little $25,000, that's literally my salary for my current income. I'm actually playing, but that's quite a big chunk of my salary, if I compare it to me working and earning that money compared to my money working for me, So let's get into my holdings, right? I hold 5 different ETFs and I'll break them down right now. So for my large cap growth ETF, right, which is a little bit more aggressive, my shares are $588, and then $20,000 of that is into my large cap growth. And as you can see, I have returned a 50% return, 7,000, almost $7,000 in actual money, dollars back. And then it's 14% of my current portfolio, right? Average cost that I'm buying at is 22.9, and then $34 is what it's at right now. So you can clearly see where I'm up 60%. So yeah, like I said, I used to be investing $80 every single week, and I slowly increased that over time. Let's move on to the S&P 500. This is literally my first investment after I lost my crypto. Oop, I didn't know I didn't know I could swipe over, but 456 shares of the S&P 500, right, which is about 27%. Let me start being exact. 27% of my portfolio, around $40,000 market value. My average cost is 51. What is that at right now? $88. That's a pretty good return for 5 years. 70% return, bro. Look how much I've made. $16,000 off of just investing. Like, that's what I'm telling you guys. You have to keep investing, and slowly it's going to increase over time, right? And your returns are going to give you a better return, and you'll just make more money. So yeah, I used to be paying or investing $71 every single week into it. Like I said, I made a budget video, so if you guys want to check that out, it's on my channel. But yeah, I'm gonna be adjusting how much I invest weekly. I just haven't got to that just yet. But literally, if I go, I can't show you guys the year to date on this, right? Because it doesn't show me what I made this year. It just shows what the ETF made this year. So this ETF is 9% this year, which is, I think, what the stock market is pretty much doing, is pretty much going up. So yeah, let's move on to the next one. So Vanguard ETF, which is a technology, they currently did a split, so the price went down. If you guys want to buy an actual share, it doesn't matter. Like I said, the dollar amount that you have is literally what you want to invest. If you have $2, invest $2. If you have $10, invest $10. Just make sure you invest whatever you have. So you can start small like I did. $73 average cost, right? It's at $115. 257 shares, almost $30,000 of my portfolio is into this, and then 20% of it is literally of my portfolio. So the total return is $10,896, which is a total return of 57%, right? And the market value is 30,000, like I said. Let's move on to SMH, which is a semiconductor. 71 shares at $299, and then the market value is $41,000. And then 30% or 28% of the portfolio is into this. This is literally just the little chips, the little microchips that they use to like actually make phones and cars and like technology, AI and stuff like that. So $20,000 is the total return. 40 or 94%. I literally invested into this and VGT last year, and this literally brought the biggest return. And then if we go into VTI, which I literally just hold as an example of, like, you don't really need a lot to really get invested, right? $50 every single week is what I used to invest. And that's literally only just to show you that, like I said, you don't really need a lot. Just get started investing. So I'll be doing an update video on this, and then you guys can clearly see what I have. So pretty much, yeah, that's it for the Robinhood portfolio. 77% return year to date, 23%, which is amazing. And yeah, if you guys want to sign up for Robinhood, I'm going to put it in the link below. Me and you will get a free stock. So it's literally a win-win for both of us. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next video. I'm out.